Team of the Season is now in full effect, and with EA releasing content on a very simple schedule, it has made it extremely easy to get into a routine where I know the best days to do various activities within FUT. We will go over the best days to buy players, the best day to complete SBCs, and the best day to buy Team of the Season. All of this is included within this video. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking to get some very easy coins which saves you from having to make any type of trades or any type of investments, then there's no better place than Mule Factory. Head over there to get yourself some cheap, fast FIFA 22 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic 5 at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video, we haven't even reached the halfway point of Team of the Season yet, and still it's incredibly easy to make coins, especially with this cycle. Every single week I go through the exact same routine, and without putting hardly any effort into the game whatsoever, I'm still able to be extremely profitable whilst also stacking up my packs and buying into the Team of the Season players that I want to buy into. And to help you all out, this is the routine that I follow. So this routine starts at 6 PM every single Friday. This is when a new Team of the Season gets released, and typically this is the more exciting team of the week. There's actually 2 team releases, and this always tends to be the more popular league, being Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, and Ligue 1, with the ultimate Team of the Season also releasing on this day towards the very end of this promo. Once this time arrives, I do nothing apart from open my packs, the exact same as what 99% of the FIFA community does anyway, so this may not even be any difference to you. I don't bother putting any money onto the game to get FIFA points and using FIFA points to open packs. The packs that are open are all those that I've managed to save during the week, and we will go through how you should get them in just 1 second. Once I do go through all of these packs in hopes to get a Team of the Season player, most of the time I don't get anything, and if I do get something, it's normally those lower end players which really don't add too much.
How do I uninstall?
This is where my routine might be slightly different to what other players do, because after I finish this, I will go and start looking onto the transfer market to start trading. This is the best time every single week for you to be trading. I would much rather you spend 15-20 minutes trading during this time rather than any other time during the week. This is when everyone is opening their packs, and for the players that they get, which most likely won't be a Team of the Season player, with all the fodder and all the rare gold players, they will list that onto the transfer market. This is when the live transfers starts to rack up, and on the Xbox, this will go all the way up to 1 million live transfers. If you're on PlayStation, I believe this can get to 5 or even 6 million, but don't quote me on that, I'm not a PlayStation user. Either way, no matter what platform you're on, this will increase compared to any other time during that week. Despite there being more live transfers, there's also less competition, because remember, most are trying to open packs, and with some of the players that they do get, they're going to put those back through SBCs to get even more packs. Everyone's focused on packing a Team of the Season. So what you should do is go to the transfer market and use a bulk bidding method or some of the other trade methods that we've gone through here on this channel, where you can get players a lot cheaper compared to their lowest buy now. We're able to find players with the lowest buy now of around 1,500 coins, and we're able to get them at their minimum of around 700 to 800 depending on their rating. And as long as you do this between 6 PM to 9 PM, so the point in which Team of the Season is released, and 9 PM is where things start to die down a bit, you will be able to get loads of different trades. Now, depending on your playstyle, you can either trade with these players, which is what I do, or you can even start to look to stock up on players. Stack up on the likes of common golds, rare golds, and 82 plus rated players. These can all be used for SBCs during the week. What I tend to do with both stocking up with players and trading is go through the bulk bidding method, focus on the players that I would like to trade with, but try to get as many of them into the watch list. I'll max out at 50, they tend to expire within just a couple minutes. I'll list those onto the transfer market, but I'm able to win these players a lot quicker than I can sell them. So it really doesn't take too long where I need to start utilizing my unassigned pile, and I'll just send as many players to my unassigned as possible. ends up being hundreds, and in the case of the community team of the season, we ended up having thousands. With the rest of the weekend, nothing special really happens. We have objectives that players go through, packs that people open, and of course there is FUT Champions in hopes to get a team of the season player. Really, on the weekend, you can do whatever it is you want. If you want to focus on objectives, go for objectives. If you want to focus on completing SBCs, go through SBCs. If you want to go through FUT Champions, go through FUT Champions. On Sunday at 6 p.m, a new team of the season is released again, and this time the league isn't as big as what we get on Friday, so the hype isn't as high, not as many people are opening packs. But with all of that said, it doesn't mean that this is a bad time to play FIFA. It's still a good time, it's just not as good as Friday. You can still stack up players and trade during this time, and you will be able to find some very good deals. On Monday, this is where things really start to get interesting, and if you did stack up on players, this is the point in which it starts to pay off. If you spent time going through the bulk bidding method and you managed to stack up on hundreds of players, or even just cheap players in general, at 6 p.m. on Monday, this is when EA releases new SBCs. SBCs such as player picks and league specific packs for that team of the season that is active for that week. All of a sudden, the demand increases for rare gold players and common gold players as they are needed to finish these SBCs. Because demand has increased, these player prices also increase. Those players that you did buy for their minimum at 700 to 800 coins, depending on their rating, will now be valued above 1,000 coins, potentially even going to the likes of 1,500. This is a very nice return if you sell them on at this point. If you don't want to sell them on and you do just want to go through SBCs, of course, you can submit them to SBCs, but you're doing it at a fraction of the price as what everyone else is doing, as they need to go and buy the players at that current moment. And that current moment is already way too late. The choice that you make here is entirely up to you. I tend to value the coins more than SBCs because my pack luck is awful. If you tuned into the live stream when we were going through the Premier League team of the season, I did get lucky to pack Premier League team of the season players, and it was 4 times, but those 4 players all happened to be Declan Rice.
Oh, would you look at that?
With there being 2 packs where I packed them back to back. So I would much rather claim the coins than take a chance because my luck is awful. These SBCs, even though they release on Monday, and this is when they are most active and have an effect on the transfer market, they're available for the rest of the week. This is also where you have the gap. The gap between Monday to Friday, where not much is happening, but because you manage to stack up on loads of different players, you're spending every single day either moving players from your unassigned to your transfer list to list onto the transfer market, or you're taking those players from your unassigned, sending them over to your club and submitting them through SBCs. Whilst all of this is happening, you still want to complete your matches. It's important for you to still play your game, so you're completing objectives to get good players and getting packs. And this takes us all the way up to Friday, where this cycle begins again. But before that happens, if you are looking to buy a team of the season player, it's best to be done within the final 24 hours. This means from Thursday at 6 p.m. all the way to Friday at 6 p.m. This is the best time. This is when these players are at their cheapest, and typically because they're taken out of packs after Friday at 6 p.m, they slowly increase during that weekend, only for them to stabilize and gradually go down as time goes on, as we are coming towards the end of FIFA 22. But typically here within those final 24 hours of them being in packs is the best time to buy these players. It's also a very good time because it's given a week for other players to use these team of the seasons and publicly announce their opinions. There's a lot of players that would look great on paper but just end up being awful within game. That's just the way FIFA works. But the complete opposite to this is that there will be some players that really don't look too special on paper that end up being amazing. By the time Friday does roll round, those reviews and opinions would already be out there within the community, and you will know exactly who's good and who's bad, who you should buy into and who you should avoid. You should let others waste their coins and buy into players when they are first released, so that you can save your coins a lot later on and buy into players that you know will be good. And this brings us all the way back to the beginning of the cycle, where all the packs that you did manage to save, if you did stack those players at the beginning when you first started trading and you intended to use them for SBCs, Well, now you should have quite a lot of packs which you can now use on Friday, ready to go through the cycle all over again. It should be said that on a week by week basis, even though you can follow this routine all the way through Team of the Season, and I know this because we pretty much do this every single year, the hype does slowly die down with each team that gets released. The hype for Bundesliga Team of the Season isn't as high as what it was for Premier League Team of the Season, and the hype for La Liga isn't as high as what it was for Bundesliga. This isn't anything against those leagues. Of course, everyone has their preferences, but another big variable is the promo being drawn out for pretty much 2 to 3 months. Even once we get to the end and we see the ultimate Team of the Season, you will notice that the live transfers will struggle to beat the live transfers we had with the community Team of the Season. This is just because the promo is so long that players naturally stop playing. It's the same with the start of Ultimate Team having the most players, and even though there's better promos now compared to what we had right at the beginning, of course, there are a fraction of the players still playing because people simply get bored. Anyway guys, this is the weekly cycle that I'm going through with Team of the Season. Because of the time that I spend trading just after a new Team of the Season is released and after I use my packs in hopes to get one, I don't need to trade for the rest of the week. And then spend the rest of the week sending those players to my transfer list, listing them onto the transfer market and waiting for them to sell, where there is space within my transfer list to go and get more players from my unassigned pile. It makes life incredibly easy at this time of the year. If you do have any questions about the process, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.